Since James Gunn is making a new cinematic universe, I would like to see all the Robins done in this new universe. Well, first off, we gotta talk about Damian, since he's gonna be in the new Batman Beyond movie. He is a complicated character. Well, of course, he's the son of Batman and son of basically an immortal being. But what I would like to see is the strained relationship between him and his father, because Damian has a complete different ideology than what Bruce has. Damian was raised to be an assassin. Batman became Batman to stop death from happening. So it'd be cool to see Batman trying to teach Damian how not to do that. But there's a thing with that. I feel like this Batman is already a little more, grown up, more experienced. And by that, I mean that he's already had a chance to raise more kids. So this goes into him having all the other Robins. I feel like he needs the other Robins if you're going to have Damian. You can't just have, Damian by himself. And a lot of the lessons Batman learned through the Robins wouldn't make sense with Damian, because Damian's already, like Bruce before he met the Robins. All the Robins beforehand. So now it's Dick Grayson's turn. He is Bruce Batman's first child, and we gotta emphasize that. And how Damian hates it so much that he technically now has another legacy to live up on, not just Batman's, Dick Grayson's legacy of being the first Robin. And yes, Dick Grayson should have a strained relationship with Batman, but a strained relationship like how a son would have with their father if they disagree with so much, but they still love each other. I want to see that be shown for Grayson. I really don't like when they're just mad at each other, when Batman and Dick are just so mad at each other all the time just because they disagree so much. I get it, that's what family does, but the way they do it in the comics is a little too exhausting. I want to see a more streamlined version of that, where Batman actively is really hard at, showing his emotion, but he tries with Dick because, Dick needs that. And that's why Dick is more inclined to actually be more hopeful than Batman. But also, I would like to see the trauma that, even though Bruce took him into because of his trauma with his own parents passing away, I feel like Batman just kind of recruiting him to be a Robin is already traumatic enough. But let's not make it Batman's fault for this one. And you know why I say that? And you know how I would put that into practice? Well, I would put it to the point where Dick had tried to go after the man who killed his parents by himself all the time. And Bruce tried to hold him down to not get him to do that. But he wouldn't listen, he'd keep going, and Batman, not wanting his new child to just die because he can't, tell him to stop, does the only thing Batman thing he knows what to do. Train him to be able to protect himself. But then when, let's say Batman wants to go out to fight crime, Dick, just hitches onto the ride of the Batmobile, hides in there, and basically goes out to fight crime. And he's like, I can't do this. I just taught you to protect you. But then Robin makes a makeshift outfit out of, some bat tech, but, brightens up the colors because he doesn't like the, no colors, since, he was part of the circus. I want to emphasize the circus part. And that's why he has the green and the red on him. It's not Batman had nothing to do with this. This is what I want to show, that Dick has his own agency, and he's the reason why even the Robinson legacy exists. He chose to do it. Batman didn't want any of this to not endanger his new child, his new son. But Dick did this for himself, and Bruce had to do something to protect him. So he thought, I would at least have my child with me all the time so he doesn't actually get hurt. But then let's show what the other side of this. When Dick is already old enough, becomes Nightwing, or grows into becoming the leader of a Teen Titans, something like that, right? So Batman doesn't want a new sidekick, right? He's not thinking about that, right? But then, because some miracle, a child takes the tires of the Batmobile, Batman's impressed. And he's like, wait, if this child can steal from me and is homeless, I feel bad for him. He's a kid, he shouldn't just be on the streets. So he basically adopts him because he realizes this is not good. He needs a stable environment, which, Batman, you're not stable. You shouldn't take care of children. But this was the best thing he could think about. And probably Alfred pushed him to do this because, again, Batman's always in his own head. He lost a child because he didn't agree with Method. I don't think Batman would want to introduce another kid. But again, this kid is like a hope for him to be better, right? So he takes him in. But another thing I want to show is the difference between Dick and Jason. They are opposites. One is hopeful all the time, you know, even though his parents died, but the other one was raised on the streets. One was hurt through reality at a very young age, and so he's angrier, more frustrated. But he's actually pretty smart too, because of the fact that he had to learn all by himself. But something I want to see that I don't think they've ever shown in media is that Dick Grayson and Jason Todd meet at that specific time. They acknowledge that they're brothers, because like I don't think I've seen where Jason and Dick actually interact during that amount of time. Maybe they won't do that, but it would be nice to see. And see also what Jason thinks of Dick. What I would like to see is that it isn't Batman's fault for his son to die by the Joker. That it's Jason needed to find his mother, which was the actual original reason why he went to go after the Joker, to find his mom. And this would actually be nice to find out that, yeah, his mom's alive, and maybe he can help. But then his mom turns out to betray him. And so that's close enlightenment. He realizes that his adopted dad, Batman, was the one that cared so much about him. And his own biological mother literally threw him to the wolves, or hyenas in this case. But Batman is trying so hard to find his son, but can't. And no matter how much it isn't his actual fault that it caused him to die, he will feel so angry about it that he cannot function as Bruce Wayne or Batman, and he just gets more brutal to all his criminals. They almost break their bones, all that stuff, and Alfred can't do anything to stop him. So, another kid, Tim Drake, finds Batman, figures out who he is, because he knew about their fighting styles, and knew that Bruce Wayne adopted a kid named Dick Grayson, and knew about Dick Grayson's fighting styles, or like acrobatics, and then related it to Batman and Robin's fights, and action. And realized how brutal Batman is without a Robin. And he asked Dick for help to become the new Robin, but he's like, I want to. That's a child's thing. I'm my own person. I'm Nightwing. I get it. He's pissed off, and he tries. He tries to be Nightwing to Batman, but Batman can't listen. So you know what Tim does? He literally puts himself in danger as a Robin to fight crime, and he's getting his ass whooped. He is getting hurt beyond belief. He is smart, but he's not combatively smart. And Batman sees this and sees, what is this stupid kid doing trying to be Robin? So he goes up to him and basically, be funny? Even though he's hurt, he's basically going to say, Batman, if you don't make me one of your Robins, I will expose you. Basically blackmails him. And it'd be funny. Like, he's not actually going to do it, but it's just a funny thing to think about, that this little child could expose Batman's true identity because he just saw Batman and Robin do acrobats. And I wouldn't say he's like the sibling in the traditional case. Like, yes, he will get adopted later because his parents also die, and it's because of, some evil shenanigans. But I also want to see that Dick sees Tim as another brother. But I feel like he would be more protective, mainly because of the fact that he lost his first brother from the Joker, and so he's like more protective, be more prepared, do more things. Like, he's gonna be kind of what Batman is, in the sense that he's gonna be like, do this is just to be safe. But Tim is gonna be more annoyed with Dick because of all that fact. But they're gonna be brothers. They're gonna understand each other. They're not the same as each other, and that I would like to show, not just tell, that Tim is the smartest out of all of them. That he is the greatest detective. Like, yeah, he'll be nurtured more to be better, but at this point, he's already great. And I mean, we could introduce his Deputy Brown, but I think that's way too complicated. I mean, they could do a little, like, memory thing about it, but I'm not sure. That doesn't seem right. So let's just go back to Damian. How would we transfer to that? Well, let's go to the fact where Tim is already getting closer done to being Robin. He's already getting older. He feels like, I need to do my own thing, but he loves being Robin. He doesn't want to change it, but he understands he needs to be his own person. So this is where he's getting into his own idea of becoming Red Robin. Yes, I know people are saying, like, hey, shouldn't he be something completely different than Robin? But I'm like, he's the one who's the most proud of being Robin out of all of them. And that he still wants to be known as a Robin, but just different. And yes, I want him to have that black mask, the black cowl without the ears. I know people think it looks weird, but I think it looks cool with the symbol and everything. It makes him look awesome. And later, he goes off to be his own hero. Not in any intent with Batman, not any bad blood with him. just that he understands that he needs to be on his own. So then we get into the idea that Talia realizes Batman's alone, so he's like, I finally have a way to introduce that he has a child without getting all these interruptions with his adopted kids, which are just his kids, I would like to say, and that he has to take care of the kid. Basically, I would like to do something different. Instead of just giving him Damian to Bruce as, he needs to take care of him because he's going to get killed if he's not, I would like the idea that technically Damian's a spy for his mom. That he is trying to infiltrate Batman to corrupt him, to basically go to the League of Assassins, and become a higher-up like Raish and, marry Talia. Basically being a spy for that. But then Batman, with his kindness and his family of the other Robins, Jason Todd could exist by this point, I'm not sure. Maybe later. But he learns about family and learns that he never had it with his mom. And learns that even though he's all bitter and angry and doesn't like a lot of them, he learns to love them. And that's the way I want to see Damian. And that's how I want to see all the Robins. What are your thoughts? Do you like this way of introducing all the Robins? Please leave your comments down below. Please hit the notification bell. Oh, well, subscribe first. And then hit the notification bell so you can actually be caught up with the next video. Because I got more to go.